Hello and welcome to our introductory quiz for A-level Sociology. Today we have a set of 8 questions for you to have a go at. 2 reasons for this quiz. Number 1 is to find out your background knowledge, see what you know about the society in which you live. But number 2 is to explore some of the issues and ideas that come up across the course of your 2 years of study for the A-level Sociology. All of the questions contained in the quiz are questions that we will ask ourselves while studying sociology, and they are all areas of interest for sociologists. Here are the 8 questions that we want you to have a go at. If you'd like to pause the video, then you can attempt the questions, see what you can answer. We also have a PDF version of the quiz. If you would like to print it off and keep it and jot your answers down onto paper, you also have that option as well. Have a go at the questions and return to the video to find the answers and a discussion of each of these questions. Question 1 asked you, what is the current population of the United Kingdom? And as you can see here, current population is estimated at just over 66 million. Population, the study of population, which is more commonly known as demography, is hugely important for sociologists. Population trends and how these change over time are significant when studying society. For example, take the current trend of a falling birth rate, fewer babies being born each year, and also a falling death rate. What impact does this have on our population and society if less babies are being born and people are living longer? Huge area of interest for sociologists is to explore what the impact of these two trends are on society when it comes to family size and shape, but also services that are on offer within society. Demography and the study of population is one area that you'll study in your first year, looking at families and households. Question 2 asked you what percentage of marriages end in divorce in the UK. It's a huge statistic that has been discussed a lot in the media, and lots of people often talk about almost half of all marriages now ending in divorce. Currently, the statistics for the UK sit at approximately 42% of all marriages ending in divorce. And you can see patterns and trends for divorces and marriages on the graph on the screen. The divorce rate actually reached its peak in 1993, where we saw just over 165,000 divorces in that 1 year. Since the peak in 1993, the number of divorces has fallen slightly, most probably caused by the decline of marriages. If there's fewer people getting married, then there's fewer people to get divorced. We look closely at the reasons why the divorce rate increased dramatically since the 1940s up until the 1990s. We look closely at changes in law that allowed for easier access to divorce. We look at the changing position of women and the feminist movement and how that's had an impact. And we look at this again within your family and household section within your first year of studies. This is important to sociologists because the increase of divorce has a huge impact upon family types that we live within society, but also the structure of households within society. Question 3, what percentage of pupils passed, so we mean achieved at least a grade 4, in one GCSE in 2018? Here we can see the data on the screen. GCSE results for England, Wales and Northern Ireland for 2018. 66.9% of entries passed, which was a slight increase from the previous year of 0.5%. If we think about high grade achievement, we have a second statistic here. 20.5% of entries recorded at least an A or our New Style 7 grade, which again was a slight increase of 0.5% from the previous year. Other numbers we have here, 732 students secured a clean sweep of grade 9s, 71.2% of girls' entries passed compared to just 62.1% of boys, and 23.4% of girls' entries scored the A's or 7s compared to just 17.1% for boys. In your education section, in your first year of study, we look closely at educational achievement. Obviously, the statistics here show that overall GCSE grades are improving. we look and question whether or not this necessarily means that young people are getting cleverer, or the alternate explanation is whether or not we have made exams easier over time. We also look at differential levels of achievement. We saw in the statistics there that girls are outperforming boys. They are doing better at GCSE level and in actual fact at all levels of the education system. So we look at reasons why, as well as also comparing other social groups such as middle class, working class and students from different ethnic backgrounds. Question 4 asked you which ethnic group performs best at GCSE level, leading on from what we just mentioned with question 3. And on average, here in the UK, pupils from Chinese and Asian backgrounds perform better at GCSE. So we look closely at the reasons why this might be the case. What's going on in the home backgrounds of Asian and Chinese pupils, which enables them to perform so much better on average in exams? What also might be happening within the school environment, teacher-pupil relationships, student-student relationships, and how this might be impacting upon their higher levels of achievement. Question 5 asked whether or not you think the crime rate in Britain is going up or down. Data shows that the crime rate is declining, and we can see here some official data being represented on the graph, which shows that overall trend of a decline. So police recorded crime, official data shows that crimes which have both been reported and recorded by the police might be coming down. Have a think whether or not you can come up with any reasons as to why crimes might not be reported to or recorded by the police. This is an area of huge interest to sociologists and one which we look closely at in your second year of study in the crime section. Reported crime and recorded crime by the police provide us with our official figures for crime rates, but we know that there are huge issues in the reporting and recording of data. Why might some individuals not report certain crimes to the police? And when crimes are reported, why might the police not follow these up and end up recording these crimes in the official stats? Question 6 asked you, in 1993 there were approximately 15,000 people in prison. What's the prison population today? Well, it has grown quite dramatically to approximately 85,000 people now in prison in the UK. It's a huge growth since the 1940s in particular. And what we have to suggest here is that we maybe are using prison as the easiest option when punishing people for committing crimes. Again, this is an area you'll look closely at in your crime section in the second year of study. More and more people are going to prison. Prison sentences, or more commonly known as custodial sentencing, is increasingly becoming a popular way of dealing with crime and criminals. Is it the easy option? Does prison really work as a form of punishment? Does it prevent people from committing future crimes? You look closely at addressing this question and also comparing it to other forms of punishment which may also work. Question 7 asked you what percentage of the British population attend church regularly. Well, data shows, as we can see from the graph on the screen, that church attendance has dramatically reduced. It's now estimated that approximately just 2% of the adult population attend church regularly. We look closely at church attendance figures in your Beliefs in Society section in the second year of your A-level study. We look at how these figures are put together and whether or not measuring church attendance rate is a good way of measuring how religious we are in the UK. Do we have to attend church to be classed as religious? Are there other ways that we can practice religions within society today? Does a declining church attendance figure necessarily mean that we are becoming a secular or non-religious society? Your final question asked you what proportion of British adults believe there is a God. And as you can see on the screen, only a third of British adults believe that there is a God. Looking at the trends in belief in God, it would suggest to us that we may reach a point in the future where we have a total society with no belief in God. Can we truly predict that this trend will continue until we reach that point? Why have we seen a decline in numbers in those who believe in God? Is science now more important to us in terms of ways in which we explain events and explain the world? Will religion always continue to play an important part within society? These again are all questions which become important to us when we are exploring the beliefs in society section in your second year of study. Well done if you gave those questions a really good go, particularly if you were spot on and you managed to answer correctly to most of those questions. Don't worry if you didn't. As I have stressed throughout this introductory quiz, these are all areas that we will explore in a lot more detail when you come to join us for the A-level sociology studies. Many thanks for giving our introductory quiz a go today. Please, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to get in touch.